didn't sign off on last night's vlog, it's because by the time we got in, we just basically got ready for bed and went to sleep because it was a long day and we were tired. But we got up at about 7 this morning, had some breakfast, got ready, and now we are headed to Cabot Beach, which is another filming location of Anne of Green Gables. And then we'll be heading to Thunder Cove, which I don't remember if it said it was a filming location of Anne of Green Gables. I think it may have only been used en route to Avonlea, but the main reason I'm wanting to go is to hopefully see the Teacup stone, because that looked really interesting to see. I forgot to check the tide times for Thunder Cove, because I'm wondering if the tide is in or out. Because if it's in, we won't be able to walk up to it. But I've decided to put braids in my hair like Anne of Green Gables today, because we're gonna be going to the Anne of Green Gables Museum and having a horse-drawn carriage ride. It's called Matthew's Carriage Ride, so aka Matthew Cuthbert, obviously not the real one since it's a fictional character. And we'll be going by the Lake of Shining Waters, so that's exciting. We'll be seeing, I think there's like some gardens that we'll be driving by and stuff, and then there's like the museum, which I'm not really sure what's in the museum. I guess it's stuff to do with Anne of Green Gables, but we'll find out. Over to our left is a really beautiful pond, or I don't even know, lake?
It's a lake.
A lake. That's on the other side too. And I'm wondering, have we passed those cows yet? Are we going in that direction?
I don't know if we are.
Oh wait! Oh, there they are! Those are different cows though. Those are brown. Can you see them? There they are. Those are different ones though, because there was these other ones that we passed yesterday that were black and white cows, and they were just like hanging out by the side of the road. But this battery is flashing at me that it's dying, so I'm going to change it out so that we can make sure we have a fresh battery for our next destination. And we were saying yesterday that like, even though today, like, we're gonna have to drive basically an hour and 20 something minutes to get to Cabot Beach, but we were noticing yesterday that even like an hour drive didn't feel like an hour, because there's like no traffic. And what else? Oh, the lights, right? Like, every intersection that has lights basically always has an advanced green, and then they also have a lot of roundabouts, so it just keeps things moving. And on top of that, like, it's a scenic drive, so there's stuff to look at, so the drives don't really feel that long, surprisingly. So we've been having a good time and enjoying ourselves so far. And yeah, so I'll have to show you guys tonight our bed, because of course I mentioned that the bed pulls out of the wall, and I didn't get to show you what it looks like when we pull it out. It was a very hard mattress. And the pillows were not so great, but I took a sleeping pill, so that helped knock me out. So it didn't bother me too much. I just kind of woke up with a kink in my neck. But it was nice and cozy, and we left the windows open a crack for some fresh air, because it got down to like 14 last night, so it was nice and cool for sleeping. and we used a quilt, and then I ended up finding that too hot, so I took it off, but it was really nice. So here we go, on our way to Cabot Beach. Okay, we've arrived at Cabot Beach. We are gonna head over. There's like a little staircase, it looks like, to get down to the beach. I am Anne of Green Gables out. My braids and my hat. The temperature is perfect. Look at this boardwalk, it's so cool. A crab claw on the beach. Right up close to the cliff. How awesome that is. There's like a little cove part here. This is so beautiful. Okay, so we've made it to Thunder Cove Beach. We're gonna try to head down and look at the Teacup Rock. Apparently they used this in the opening sequence of Anne of Green Gables, the sequel. However, they didn't put the Teacup Rock. They just used the rock cliffs that basically looked like what we just saw at Cabot Beach. So I'm not gonna bother trying to find that because it was literally a 1-second shot. But they also apparently filmed Road to Avonlea. But my main reason for coming here wasn't so much the Anne of Green Gables aspect, but I want to see the Teacup Rock because apparently it's a really cool thing, and it's supposed to be low tide so that we could see it. So I don't know how we get down to the beach, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, we're still walking the path. We haven't found it yet. almost looks similar. It's like this one right here. It almost looks like a teacup too. But I'm pretty sure it's that one because it looked like it was like out further from the rock than this one. Here's an overview. It's really pretty. It's beautiful. Anne of Green Gables Museum. Woohoo! I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, look at these hills. So cool.
Your destination is on the right.
Museum. Look at that. There's the Lake of Shining Waters. Oh my goodness. This is the museum. There's also a craft shop over there.
I'll meet you down at the end of the roadway there. You can walk
Here,
down
let's look at the
picture of
sign.
the Lake of Shining Waters.
This is her aunt and uncle's house that she stayed at, Lucy and Montgomery. We're just waiting for our carriage to come. Ellen Montgomery at various ages, and then this is her cousins, another family. It's hard to see because it's got glare. This was her. So this was her cousin's house, right? Is that what they said? Or aunt and uncle's house? Okay.
So maybe when it just goes away and doesn't print or anything.
Right there. So this is the guest bedroom. This handmade bedspread was knit by Mrs. Thomas. Lucy Maud. These are all the original books in here. And this is the organ that was used for Ellen Montgomery's wedding. Some pictures of family. This was the organ. She was married July 5th, 1911, and it's still used today for weddings. That was her wedding dress, and then these are the dresses she wore on her honeymoon. So this was the last letter that she wrote, and they've translated it here because, and I don't even know how they were able to make up that handwriting, but that's the letter. It's hard to read it because of the reflection on the glass.
It's up to you, but probably.
Did you see the embroidered thing on this rocking chair?
Yeah.
Oh, these are the translated things. Oh, okay, so these are the ones that are autographed by her? This picture at Niagara Falls, and I have no clue what the heck they're sitting on, but wow, that's a shot. And then I guess this is more of her writing. It doesn't say anywhere, does it? Sermons, prayers. Oh, it's like about Miss Stacy caught me reading Ben-Hur in school. This is a passage from Anne of Green Gables. And there's the original Ben-Hur. This is a quilt that Ellen Montgomery made. It's a crazy quilt. There's more. Is this her room?
No, it's one of the cousins.
Oh, one of the cousins' rooms?
Then if you go down, you see the fan that they
I'm
use.
not going to do that because that's going to
Well, that's funny.
break the illusion. Okay, fine. And then we have a modernized fan.
That they use to cool off.
Own little bedroom. Puff sleeves. Egg cups.
So basically, she was going to get married, but the bridegroom didn't show, so she buried all the stuff. Who buried her wedding cake out in the front here, and locked all her wedding clothes and gifts in the blue chest, which is all this.
Oh.
And it's been locked for 40 years.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So that's the story girl story, but it's a true story. Oh, okay. So the story is about Eliza Montgomery, a distant cousin. And that's whose wedding cake they buried up front. So this was her gown. Postman and Cavendish. There's a kitty here. Oh, yeah. Look at you. You want to go out, don't you? You want to go out?
I think so. No rush.
Oh, I guess if you want to take the trail, it's a 5 to 7 minute walk. Little well, old well. Holy cow.
Holy shit.
So this is the Whispering Lane Trail that goes that way. Did you want to do it or? Okay. Well, let's just look at the little garden here and then we'll come back. Yeah, because that's like a 7 minute walk. So they have a little garden here. Some flowers and a flower bush over there. Oh, you can smell the flowers. Oh, they're coming this way. Hey guys, so I just wanted to come and put some closing comments on this video. This is going to be part 1 of our second day in PEI. There's still part 2 to come. I've taken lots of footage on this trip because it was so special to me. It was a dream come true, and I want all of the videos for myself just as memories of this trip and to share with you guys out there. If you guys are Anne of Green Gables fans and have never gotten around to getting to PEI, hopefully you enjoy this. I basically just wanted to say that I loved seeing Cabot Beach and Thunder Cove. My only complaint was I wish we had more time to spend there. We had our carriage ride booked for 11:30 a.m. so we got to Cabot Beach around 9:30 a.m. and Cabot Beach is only about 10 minutes or so away from Thunder Cove. So they were close together, but we had to limit our time spent at each one. And with Thunder Cove, we decided not to go down to the actual beach. We walked on top of the cliffs just because from where we stood, it looked like it would be quite a long walk to get down to the beach area and then from there walk over to the Teacup Rock. And we just were really strapped for time. So that's why we just stayed on top of the cliffs, which was awesome because we got like a beautiful view of everything. But I realized that most of the filming that took place for like the sequels and the continuing story, and I think even the New Beginning movie, which I still have yet to see, as well as Road to Avonlea, was all filmed on the actual beach. And I think there's like a pathway leading down to the beach that was filmed, as you could probably see in the pictures that I put. So if we ever return, which I really hope we do, we both want to go back and explore more. I'd like to return to those beaches and kind of take more time to walk further out into them and explore more. But they were beautiful, and I would have to say, like, up until this point, I was still sort of like in shock and like couldn't believe I was there. And then what I started to get emotional at the museum. So as we were driving up to the museum, I saw the Matthews carriage ride leaving with a family. And as soon as I saw it, knowing that we were going to go on that, I started to tear up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. Alex was like, oh my Lord. So he kind of kept me from not crying by just like laughing about it. Then as we were walking up to the museum door to go and pay our admission to the museum and check in for our carriage ride, there was a husband and wife leaving, and the wife was like, I'm gonna cry again, because she had bought, they were selling like a reprint of the very first edition of Anne of Green Gables, and it was, you could get like a stamp in it with L.M. Montgomery's signature, as well as there was a descendant of her, like a family member of her, that was there signing the books as well. So I guess this lady had bought that and got it signed and whatever. She was walking out saying, I'm gonna cry again, and her husband was like, it's okay, it's okay. And then I was like, oh my god, like, I'm gonna cry now, like, hearing that she's crying, because like I totally get it. But then I composed myself, and then when we were on the carriage ride was beautiful, and it took us past the Lake of Shining Waters. Now, it wasn't the Lake of Shining Waters used in the movie, but I quickly came to realize in, like, I would say the first day, really, that we were in PEI, that any lake we passed by in PEI could be the Lake of Shining Waters. You just had to use your imagination, just like, you know, Anne Shirley. Use your imagination, and literally every dirt road you looked at, or every pond or lake that we passed by could be the Lake of Shining Waters. Like, we passed by this beautiful one on the way to our cabin that literally shone because of how the light was hitting it, and I was like, that's the Lake of Shining Waters. Like, so really, like, even though at that point we hadn't seen where they actually had filmed the Lake of Shining Waters for the movie, you just had to use your imagination and you were there. And so I found, like, I really was using my imagination a lot while we were in PEI, and I really loved that. It like got me tapping into my imagination again. And the drive was, it was a half-hour carriage ride. It was absolutely beautiful going around the lake and seeing the fields and everything. And then there was another carriage ride that was going around for an hour, and the hour-long one was a lot more expensive. We decided not to do it because we had already been to some beaches and we're going to be going to more. But the hour-long one takes you on the same route, but then takes a slight detour at the halfway point and goes to a private beach. So they were passing us at one point, which you probably saw in the video, and it was hilarious. We started laughing because the driver in the other carriage said, have a good day, Matthew, to our driver, and our driver goes, have a good day, Matthew, because, you know, they're supposed to be playing the character of Matthew Cuthbert, Matthew's carriage ride. And everyone was laughing. It was really funny. But definitely on the carriage ride, I teared up many times, just astounded by the beauty that was, like, all around us. It was amazing. So I hope you enjoyed part 1 of our second day in PEI. Stay tuned for part 2 of our second day. We have lots more filming locations to visit. So I hope you enjoy it. As you can see, I'm obviously home now. All these videos are pre-filmed from last week. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.